Okay, I'm back for the second part of this one, and now here is what I've gotten done. I've gotten all of the little branches all the way around. Now this still has the plastic on it that I used, that I had shown you guys in the first video about writing and using the plastic. It's a kind of a wash away, just warm water and it'll go away, but I didn't want to wash this yet, so I've cut out most of the bulk and then that way. But that's what I used again to write the lettering J-O-Y. I've put a little bit of an off-white lace up there. I've left enough space to have something to run something through if I do this as a banner. Now I want to do a few other little things to this before, so I've pulled out what I have from my silk ribbon, and I think I'm just learning how to use this silk ribbon. Let me pull you guys out a little bit again. There we go. I'm just learning how to use this silk ribbon, so we'll see. I had found these little buttons I had that were poinsettias, but I really want to keep it kind of almost basic, the red and white, or off-white. And so then I found some beads, and I found some more beads, and then these were in there. These are Create a Craft e-beads, pearlescent, and I probably got these from like Joann's. Pearl is the color, and so I'm thinking, even though they're a little whiter, I just don't think I have like an off-white, so I'm going to try those. I'd like to try, I tried to look for a video on making small tiny poinsettias, but I really didn't find any. No, those are, I think that's, each one of these has got 20 meters in it, and there's different, like this is 2mm, 7mm. I think this is the one I'm going to go with. I think that's the largest one at this time I have. Yeah, this one's 2. This one's a 4. Oh, I have a 13, but I think that's going to be, I don't know. Maybe the 13 might be the size, because poinsettia leaves are pretty big, and I wanted to do them white with yellow and green centers. So I don't know, maybe we'll try this. So I've learned to do a couple of stitches with it. Oops. Just don't want this to be too big on here. Yeah, see, I think that almost might be too big. Let's go back to the 7. Don't know unless you try. Yeah, I looked all over the, last night for yeah, see, I think that might give me a much better. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to get some needles, then I'll be back. Okay, now what I have learned is you always need to cut your ribbon at an angle. And like I said, I am not a professional at this at all. I am just learning, but I'll be happy to share what I have learned with you. I think I'm going to cut that at a little more of an angle. And then you want to extend it out far enough so that you can catch the end and then pull it through. And I know that seems kind of weird to make it bulky at this part of the eye, but that's to secure it so it won't go through. And then I'm just going to do a little knot, but you can pull the needle back through there and do another little knot. But I'm just doing just a little knot. Now I have learned, or am learning, let's put it that way, a basic ribbon stitch, and that's what I'm thinking I'm going to need for. See, that didn't work. This needle might not be working. All the other times this has worked. Alright, so I've got it coming through. Now they say you can have like one of those little curling, not like a straightener, because you want to straighten out your piece. I found if you just rub, let's see if I can get my hand out of the way, you can get it pretty flat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out from it, stick it in. This flower a little bit bigger than the other one. I'm going to hold my end, and I'm going right through the ribbon. Oh no, the last couple of times I didn't have this problem. And I think it's this needle. There we go. And you're just going to keep pulling it. And then you can kind of tease the sides a little bit and pull it. But you get a nice pointy sharp, which is what the poinsettias have. And so I think I'm going to go like around the clock. And you don't want to pull this too tight because you will lose your... We're going to do the same steps again. We're going to flatten it out, pull it out. I'm going to go in. And so we've got two. Now this may not look exactly like a poinsettia, but now I'm going to go at like 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And so this is kind of fiddly. I'm going to move it where I'm not going through a lot of stuff. and then slowly bring it in. See, and I have that batting on the back of there, so it might have been a good idea. But it's a catch-22, because if you don't have some kind of a stabilizer on the back, then it's all going to pull in. Somewhere got some excess on the back there. Alright, so I'm pulling it out, putting my needle in. I think if I did this again, I would wait and leave an open space. These are all lessons I'll know for the next time. No, I thought that was a pair of pliers, but it's not. I'm sure some of you guys are maybe experts out there at this, and you're probably going, huh, there's so much easier ways to do this. If so, let me know, because I love the look of it, but so there's what we've gotten so far. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I need one here. I definitely would have a pair of pliers out doing this, which I don't, but I will next time. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I think I'm going to try and do some more coming over the top. And I'm going to leave them with a little more poof to them. Ribbon back there. Bring it up a little bit. All right, but I think once we put the yellow in the center, that might be. And I think I'm going to end that one. Now what they do say is to kind of not do what I'm doing right now. I'm tying a little knot. And they say to go back and cut. Now, if one of you guys knows the secret to getting this off, I've always had to cut it to get it out of the needle. Alright, so there's one, and then we'll come back with some yellow centers and all that. One's a little bit longer. I might do 3 of these. So I'll go do them so you guys don't have to suffer through me struggling with this, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and I am here working away on my... And I've gotten 3 of these done. I don't know that they necessarily look like poinsettias, but they're pretty. And I'm working on the last of the leaves. I did French knots in the center to bring the yellow in. And make sure we're in the center. And I'm doing these, and I'll tell you, I found your best friend. I get it pulled part way through, are hemostats. So you can just get it through with those. Make sure you're nice and flat. And pull it through. You know, it's like anything else with practice. Sometimes it'll come through easy, but it's going back the other way that will give you a... And for the leaves, I'm just doing 3 pulls through with the ribbon. Get it pulled through. Grab it with your hemostats. Get it through that spot. Saves your fingers. I'm going to go on this side. Right in there, and I'm just flattening it down. I've got it in there. See, and that one went through pretty easy. And I've got the 3. I'm just going to tie off the knot in the back, trim that off. Oops, I need to trim this off because alright. And now if I still have it available, yep, I left my thread on there for my yellow. I need to trim that edge so it'll go through there. Alright, and so now I'm working on this one with the French knots. We don't want to come through there, we want to come something's got it caught. There we go. And I'm doing 7 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going right back close to that hole, holding my end, pulling through. There's 2. Oh, right there is going to be the tough part, but I need to cover that because I don't want the vine showing through the middle of the flower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do a couple more over this braid. I love this mat. It just gives you just the right texture to be able to push through. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My other ones weren't this difficult to put the centers in because they were off of the line a little bit. And the camera, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to drop that through. think I'm going to do one more, maybe two more. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I think that's going to do it. And we'll tie it on. Now, my back right here is a mess. That didn't even belong in there, I don't think. That does now. Alright, so I'm going to cut that off. That's got two ends on it, so I think it's just an extra piece that got caught in there. Okay, so now we have our flowers on there. And the next thing I'm going to do is go to some beads. I want to put some beads all the way around in here. I think I might do a couple of little green, real tiny French knots, because I think in the poinsettia it's green, like almost coming through the tops of these yellows. But first we'll do the beads. Let's put up my silk ribbon. I get so excited that sometimes I don't put all the stuff up that's around me and it can get messy. Let's put all these back up. Make sure there's no more of this out here. Nope. Alright, so we got all the French ribbon stuff put, the silk ribbon stuff put back up. And now, I don't know if these beads are going to go through this needle. Yes. Oh, good. And so I'm going to use a dual duty thread, just because it's thicker. Okay, I just had the needle. Did I stick it in here? No. That's going to be too big. It's got to be here. You just seen me with it. There it is, right in the middle of the beads. Let's start right here. That looks like a good spot. Now I think I'm going to stitch a couple of times just to make sure that thread is not going to come through at any point in time. This isn't really going to be, I mean, it's going to hang. It's not going to. And these I'm going to do individually and twice. Sewing through, coming back up. There's one. Nope, I want to come back up in the middle of that one. Don't know if I can get you guys. It's closer you need to be. But then I'll probably run out of camera. I know a lot of people sew these on one time. It's just old habit. I'm just used to making sure they're securely on there. And am I in camera? Alright, and so we've got the 3 little beads on there. So I'm going to be going through and sprinkling them all around. And I'm sure you guys don't want to sit here and watch me put little beads on. So I will stop and I'll be back when we're through.